Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk about these two Witeden puzzles that were recently released in stickerless form and give my thoughts about them. So I believe these are the rainbow cube and the rainbow plus cube, this being the rainbow and this being the plus. And so when I first saw these I wasn't too sure exactly what they were, but after some research I realized that essentially what this puzzle here is a truncated dino cube. So let me just show you. So here we have a dino cube, and so think of it as if you cut off the corners, kind of shave them off, and like this is the same face. You could see here the X, and here's the X, and this one on the yellow face, it's the same thing except the corners were truncated, and in this case they have different colors. And so like if I make a turn like this face, it's the same thing as if I do this turn, but because it's truncated you get extra colors. Now the solve difficulty is about the same. It's a slightly different experience with solving this than this, but it's not much more difficult. I would say it's about the same level of difficulty, and both of them are quite easy to solve. And now this is, I would say, the main puzzle here, because what this is, it's a hybrid. So this is essentially a hybrid of a dino cube and a 2x2, and combines them together with the truncated corners and everything. So it could be comparable to this puzzle here, which is a 2x2 cube, except whereas this is a 2x2 dino cube. Now as far as quality goes, so this one is okay. It's not a speed cube, it's typical Witeden quality. It turns okay. Sometimes there's a little bit of catching, and this one's pretty fine. Now this one here, as soon as I received it, my first impression was that it's quite horrific as far as quality, but I'll say more about that before. So you can see if I start turning, for example, let's say the 2x2 move. First of all, the 2x2 moves, it's rather hard to turn like this way, for example. You see I'm turning, like if I turn this face, I guess counterclockwise, kind of turns smoothly more or less, but there's a lot of catching going on. A lot of these pieces you could see if I like how they kind of all stick out like that. And basically this puzzle catches tremendously, and it feels like a pop always waiting to happen. And it's the same with these turns also. They turn fairly smoothly, but there's a lot of catching. Now once you break in it a little, it turns a little bit better after breaking it in. Not by a tremendous amount, but I did do one full solve on it, plus I solved it as a 2x2 and also as this regular rainbow cube, after which I did a full solve. So if anyone has this puzzle, you kind of probably know what I mean. Like when you turn the 2x2 and this cube turns, it has this kind of almost a wobbly feel to it, where like the pieces all kind of move around and jiggle around a bit. Now this one, it's even more so, and I don't want to blame Witeden for it. Perhaps it's the level of technology where the puzzle just doesn't, it's maybe not, they haven't figured out how to make it more stable. But it is what it is. It's the only one of its kind that I'm aware of. I'm not sure if there's any custom mods of like a 2x2 dino cube, or like kind of like a rainbow plus cube. And yeah, so it is like if you just try to solve it as a 2x2 or as just as this puzzle here, doing only the dino turns, you'll get a feel of how long it takes. So when I did the full solve on this, it took me probably, I don't know, maybe an hour or so, and that's because it just catches so much. The solve is actually not that difficult. It's similar to this, and except that, so if I turn these pieces here, this one has more elements to it because this cube turn is deeper essentially. So what else can I say about this puzzle? So I'll do a scramble of it. I'll say this, it looks very, very nice once it's scrambled. And basically, if you're looking to get it as part of a collection, or if you're very, very patient and very, gentle with your hands, then it's a nice puzzle to get. But otherwise you're gonna probably get very, very frustrated with it because the turning is so incredibly catchy. Okay, so first you can see I'm scrambling it as a 2x2, and then I will start doing the other turns, the dyno turns. Okay, like that. Now let's start doing some dyno turns. Okay, now let's do some more 2x2. And then some more dyno turns. Really got to stabilize it a lot in order to avoid pieces popping out. The good thing is that if it does pop, usually it's just one piece and it's quite easy to get it back in, as long as you don't let other pieces start popping out, because if too many of them come out, then the puzzle's probably going to fall apart. But if it's only one piece, it's fairly easy to get it back in. Okay. I'm not going to solve this on camera. It's just going to take way too long, considering how long each of these, you see this one's almost popping out. Considering how long it takes to do just one turn. I think we could call this a fairly good scramble. So it does look very impressive once it's scrambled. And it looks a lot more difficult than it is, but the biggest difficulty with this is the turning quality. And if you are careful with it and patient, then it is possible to solve. And you can see here, a piece just popped out, and you just pop it in like that. Try to stabilize it some more, just a couple of more turns. I want to separate as many of the colors as I can. And there we go, another piece popped out. Just pop it back in. And there you have it, scrambled. There's this Rainbow Plus. Looks very nice when it's scrambled. Let me just scramble this one as well. And this one I could actually solve on camera, because it solves pretty much like a dyno cube. Some might say it's a tad bit easier. Some might say it's a tad bit more difficult. I say it's roughly about the same level of challenge. So far, no popping issues with this one. And you can see this is what this one looks like scrambled. Now to solve it, so basically these triangle pieces are stationary. And so let's see, we have blue, so we have one blue attached. We look for another one that has this kind of blue. And let's see, turn this one in, it matches in. Look for another blue, it's gonna have green, yellow on it. It's right here. And then this one's already oriented. You can see this black connects with this, pink with pink, gray with gray. This piece is in. We look with the light grays. And We want something that's gonna have a yellow and light gray. I think it's this one. So look at that. Turn this in. This piece is in. Look for something that's purple. Let's see. Okay, this one. And this one goes there. And this piece. Sometimes you have to turn it twice the other way. I think I put in the wrong one. All right. And there we go. This one is solved. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on these two puzzles here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Until next time.